소리가 좀 들리나요?
이제 잘 들리고요. 이제 프레젠테이션 시작하면 될 것 같습니다. 예. So hello everyone. So my name is Youngjin from Wikimedia Korea. With me is Inhwa from Princeton University to discuss about the WikiVault and how it's gonna be impact the community. So let's begin. So yeah, I have to try to do, yes, here's the picture, so I'll just do this. So my name is Youngjin, as you all know me, but I have a fellow speaker. She's a PhD student in the Princeton University, and she was interesting about like how the communities, Wikipedia communities are running. So she was very interesting about that. So she decided to do the research about how is it being impacted the WikiVault. So let's begin. So what is the WikiVault? Okay, it is launched in April 2025 based on the Gemini, and this is an AI-based translation assistant tool and the writing help assistant tool, and developed by not myself, because I constantly keep saying this, but it is not developed myself, but like that there is another community member, actually developer, actually inspired, and the developers developed this software supported by the Wikimedia Korea. And it's also I already mentioned once in the Wikimedia Pictures Lab, as an experiment about like using the AI as an editing assistant tool. So this is how WikiVault looks like. Just click this button. Then you will show the suggestions. You can also search the articles. And if you are in the specific articles, there will be the suggest articles to select anyway. So there's a sample article. If I click the translate button, yeah, it will be doing somehow like something about this picture. So the AI writing is also there, but like it is kind of better. But like what we mostly important is the AI-based translation. So AI translation. So here are the outputs. We will discuss about later after the session. But however, here's our demo, so you can just visit it out. I will give you the links after this presentations once again. So since we have a little bit of time limitation, so I cannot able to go through this very deeply. However, I have to exit this by the way to show everything. So advantage of WikiVault is it is kind of the customized comment. So I will having somehow detailed explanation in the next slide. So just taking this as a reference. So these are the process of how the WikiVault works. So yeah, here I can able to describe. So advantage compared to other AI tools are kind of the Wikipedia comments apply. So for example, the reference specifically assigned as kakju in the Korean Wikipedia articles. So we just like to apply that. And that makes the better translation quality as we are basing the more like the custom commented output as well. So, and the AI translates a little bit better than the machine translation tool, so that's kind of another advantage as well. So, and other advantage I want to mention is like, just like there is an article in Korean, then they will using the Korean existing article as a reference as well as the addition to the English Wikipedia article. So like if they're running comment, they are not demolish all the whatever content in the Korean Wikipedia and the place in the whatever in English Wikipedia. So advantage compared to AI tools, so and also able to make a custom comment. So like for example, the English Wikipedia link specifically, I can assign the specific Korean Wikipedia article. That's what I wrote as a comment and a title. So I will pass to Inhwa, and she will be describing about ongoing research. I'm not sure I can see her face, probably because of the time frame issue, but yeah, let's go. It's yours now.
Okay, thank you, Youngjin. Just for clarification, can everyone hear me well? Can everyone hear me well?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
It's audible, yes.
Okay. So thank you for the introduction, Youngjin. I'm Inhwa, a social computing researcher, usually examining about how AI is impacting the information ecosystem. So I became very interested about how this WikiVault is impacting the overall ecosystem of Korean Wikipedia. So this is about the ongoing research by myself and also my collaborators, Ted, who is a longtime Wikimedia and also the very person who has developed WikiVault, and Manuel Horta-Riverio, also a professor from Princeton University. So next slide, please. So our research question is, how does the introduction of WikiVault reshape, first, the content itself, and second, the dynamics of their production within Korean Wikipedia? So we approach this by two types of methods. First, we conduct semi-structured interviews with WikiVault users to anchor to the narratives of the community and to understand the lived experiences of people who use that. And second, we also leverage a method of computational data analysis to understand the scalable insights from measurable dynamics. So today, due to time constraints and given that Youngjin will cover many aspects of the community narratives and experiences, I'll focus more on the ongoing preliminary results from the computational data analysis. So let's take a look at how relevant actually is WikiVault to the creation of new content on Korean Wikipedia. So here's a lot of numbers. Next slide, please. Okay, so you see a lot of numbers here. So what we see from here is, next slide please, that WikiVault contributed to, so this period is like from May 1st, 2025, the day WikiVault was deployed, to February 1st this year, which is a 9-month period. So you see that WikiVault contributed to 20% of total added bytes during this period, 10.8% of pages created, and 0.6% of number of edits. So next slide, please. So you see in this graph of the time series, so the x-axis is weeks from deployment, the 0 is the period when WikiVault was actually deployed to the community, and the y-axis is number of new pages, number of added bytes, and number of edits. So I'll pause a little bit here for people to take a look at how the these outcomes had varied since WikiVault was deployed. Okay, next slide, please. So then who are actually contributing through WikiVault? So you see in this table that 0.1% of total editors and 1% of active editors are contributing to this huge amount of WikiVault edits. Next slide, please. So this small number of people are contributing to 27% bytes through WikiVault. Next slide, please. So a little more specifically, you see in this graph that since WikiVault deployment, in average, like 10 to 20% of active WikiVault editors are contributing through WikiVault. Let's go a little bit more specifically. So then who are actually these contributors, the 0.1% of people? Next slide, please. Let's go one slide more. So we see in this graph that for nearly 80% of users, their first WikiVault edit occurred after their 1000th edit. So if you see in this graph, this x-axis is the first WikiVault edit number, so which means that if a person's first WikiVault edit number is 1000, the period that they used WikiVault was their 1000th edit, which means they were long-time contributors. So you see in this graph that 80% of WikiVault users, their first WikiVault edit was after their 1000th edit, which means that over 80% are really long-time editors. Next slide, please. Oh, yes, okay. And you see a little dot, like four purple dots in the x-axis, which are less than 10. So there are only 4 WikiVault editors whose first WikiVault edit number was less than 10. So this means that a very small proportion of WikiVault adopters are newcomers. So WikiVault didn't actually make newcomers participate more, but it was actually used by long-time editors. Next slide, please. And a little more information about WikiVault edits. So nearly 80% of WikiVault edits are not made on existing WikiVault pages, they were usually page creation edits. This makes sense because they just literally convert the English Wikipedia pages to Korean Wikipedia pages using WikiVault, as Youngjin introduced about this tool earlier. Next slide, please. And given that through a click they can import a huge amount of text, average edit bytes per WikiVault edit is 42 times the average of total bytes per typical edit. Next slide, please. So the next question that we have is, okay, we saw how, like, what are the types of WikiVault edits, who are making these edits, but I became curious, how are WikiVault edited content actually meaningful in terms of page views? How does this created content actually related to the information consumption side? Next page, please. Okay, so this is the graph where x-axis is the date, and this dashed line, vertical dashed line, is the date of WikiVault deployment, and the y-axis is the page views. The blue line are the total page views that Korean Wikipedia pages got, and the orange line is the page views that WikiVault pages got. You can see it's 0 until the WikiVault deployment page because it wasn't deployed before. Next slide, please. And you see this trend of the total page views here. How would you guess the WikiVault page views would be like? So we could see that a large proportion of page views actually goes to WikiVault edited pages. Next slide, please. So now how much is this proportion? So you see here that up to 60% of total page views in Korean Wikipedia went to WikiVault edited page views. So this period was August 2025. That's where like 60% of page views went to WikiVault edited pages, which I felt is huge. Next slide, please. So then the next question is, so then how would it have been different if pages edited by WikiVault had actually not received WikiVault edits? How can we answer this question? So let's think of a random page that existed before WikiVault and edited by WikiVault at some point in this dashed line. Next slide, please. So then we ask, what would have happened if this page actually hadn't received WikiVault edit? How would post-WikiVault edit outcomes like page views, number of edits that this page would get, and the maybe removed bytes, and the number of participants have been different? But the problem is that we can't observe the counterfactual. We can't revert the WikiVault edit and like make it as if it hadn't happened. So the alternative approach we try to answer this question is that, next page please. Instead, let's compare the two similar pages. So one, the blue one that have received WikiVault edit, and one that haven't. Let's compare those two pages. Next slide, please. Next, please. One more, please. Yeah, so we compare 1,637 sets of pages, which are similar, but one with WikiVault edit and one without WikiVault edit. Next slide, please. So, yes, so how we match these pages is that with the pages which have similar features, two pages that were created in the same month and which had similar attributes prior 1 month to WikiVault edits, like their page lengths were similar, the number of edits they received were similar, and the number of page views they received were similar, and they match one with WikiVault edit, one without WikiVault edit. How do they proceed differently after this WikiVault edit period? So we have this a lot, like 1,000 number of sets, and we compare these two pages. Next slide, please. One more, please. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So then let's compare these two groups of pages, the post WikiVault edit outcome of these two groups of pages. Next slide, please. So let's see the page views. So the blue line is the WikiVault edited pages, and the orange line is the control, the counterfactual, the pages which were similar but hadn't received WikiVault edits. How do you think this would have proceeded differently? Next slide, please. So you see a very huge gap between the groups of WikiVault edited pages and groups of the counterfactual, the non-WikiVault edited pages. So we cannot strictly claim the causal effect of WikiVault, but we can still assume, we can like nearly assume that WikiVault edit was the actual cause of the page view traffic that a page can receive. So we can say that WikiVault edit caused a page to receive more page views. Next slide, please. So yes, we covered how WikiVault impacted the content of the Korean Wikipedia ecosystem. But let's move on to think a little bit about previous slide, please. One more. Okay, so how is the WikiVault reshaping the social dynamics of content production? As we all know, Wikipedia is not just a single output of a information ecosystem, but many people participate by crowdsourcing. And how we construct this knowledge is a very important part of this information ecosystem. So I'll go very briefly into this because of time constraints, but the main narrative and the issue of that the community is facing is the burden of verification and review. So translation was actually never neutral. So each knowledge is not neutral and it is always situated, and especially on historical political knowledges, its language editions have different viewpoints and is covering on different like agendas. So translation editing previously functioned as a way to situate knowledge within the wiki. It was not just a random translation. Next page, please. And the WikiVault's core effect in this translation workflow is that through the automation of linguistic labor, translation labor, it accelerated publishing and it decoupled the execution of this translation from the responsibility an individual editor had in reviewing the translation. Next slide, please. And furthermore, next slide, please.
It is not working.
Okay. Thank you. So repair work is socially and cognitively very costly. For example, a WikiVault editor tried to revert a WikiVault edit because, like, for example, there was some hallucination, it made no sense. But this repair work, which had a positive, like community-wise positive intention, was considered as vandalism. So now, like some people were discussing about whether there should be policies to explicitly allow this, like socially positive intended reverts. So in sum, next slide, please. So in sum, we see that overall, WikiVault increased the volume of repair labor and reshaped where the burden of moderation falls. So like how the moderation dynamics change is what we should focus in the community side as a result of the WikiVault deployment. Next slide, please. So this is the one last piece of quantitative side of that which I would like to mention. So I want to also see if WikiVault edit impacted the pages to receive more moderation edits. So like it's really hard to define what moderation edit is, but we could maybe simply define it as removal edits, like edits where the bytes are delta bytes are less than 0. We see this as the same as the counterfactual method I have mentioned earlier. And next slide, please. We could see from, in terms of this outcome, that WikiVault edit actually impacted a page to receive more removed bytes than the similar page which hadn't received WikiVault edit. Okay, so this, I haven't covered everything, but if you want more details about research, please feel to reach out, and I will toss over back to Youngjin for the remaining of the presentation.
Thank you, but I will show you the QR code right after the presentation because of time constraints. So please be tight because we have something to cover up. All right. So yeah, we will show QR code again. Before that, just round of applause to her. Yeah. All right, so now let's go back to the community side of view. As administrator at the Korean Wikipedia, let's see how they impact to the community. Okay, there is one Wikipedia user just quote like this. I started the Wikipedia, this tool, and everything at finish has been increased dynamically, like 200%, according to his opinion. He's actually the contributor artist recently with the utilize the WikiVault, and he is awarded the Wikimedian of the Korea of the newcomers per year. So how does it affect the community? So address the shortage content caused by the language barriers. By providing more efficiency by reducing the language barriers that causing by the translation workload, like this is like too long for many people. It is reducing the time constraint for the busy people's Wikimedians. So their editing efficiency has been increasing. So the increasing number of the articles and contents as you see in the previous the research report. So under the development categories, for example, the arts I mentioned, or the boost, or it is also utilizing some branch events in Malaysia or Japan, and etc. So let's go. But however, there are the concern. As number of documents has been translated by the LLM, it has a negative impact to community. So this is some kind of new things that we find out, and let's discover it. So hallucination of the AI and the machine learning translations and the LLMs are kind of things. So quality issue because of the lack of proofreading, because they just clicking, and then translation done. You can just publish. Sometimes we strongly recommend to reviewing the content, but many of them does not doing it then. So it is a problem. And also another problem is reliance with the English Wikipedia, because it is translating directly from the English Wikipedia. If the English Wikipedia content is not good, for example, it is violate the lack of source or the MPOB is violating, etc., it will make some problem. And Western perspective views are increasing. And what I was also realizing is that decreasing of the Korean original content. For example, the K-pop songs. Recently, the K-pop songs is more popular in the overseas bands compared to the just local Koreans, honestly, I think. I even know all the K-pop group songs. I don't know everything. So often English Wikipedia's content is kind of increased. So that's the thing. So overriding the existing content in the WikiVault result is also the problem, because that will be causing the losing of the valuable contributors previously made by the contributors, even is older now the correct or whatever. So edit work is also able to happening. So next slide. So getting feedback periodically by developer in order to solving this. So we recently implement the limit to 20 per day per each account, because in order to solve this, still more ideas needed. So we are constantly just doing the community consultation. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So here are some description. This is some of the limitations, but I can show you that settings. So this is the allowance over the exclusive criteria, so the whitelist about the allowing the many calls that you want. Other users have a limit, max limit calls per day, so 20 articles, and we can able to block using the tool. But this is not a perfect solution, because if they're doing it, it's not that everyone can just violate by using the other AI tools and the machine translation learning. So yeah, that's it. So if the time permits, there's a light demo, because before I show you the QR code once again, I will just remind these two links so that you can just run the demo. I will put the comments about the right picture. So the first link is the AI translation demo, and the second link is the AI writing demo. And also this slide will be on the comments right after this presentation. So yeah, I will link to the Telegram chat as well. So before questions, so I will go over to here. So Yeah, so make sure whoever missed the capture about how to details about research, yeah, please scan there. And this concludes our slide. Thank you. Questions, welcome. And yeah, we can answer only, how many? Yeah, you can, Betty, you can handle it. I'll take Jacqueline first, because supervisor.
I wonder whether you have explored the subjects that you have higher edits. So like, I see your research, but did you also categorize the page views by the type of subject matter? And I wonder whether the subject matter actually influence also the trends. The second one on page views, I wonder if you've also looked at whether the page views were visited by like bots or like actually like humans, whether we can do a distinction. And then the third one is, I wonder, and you can tell me, is when it's edited, and all right, using this tool where there's some form of AI embedded in it, does it get picked up by other AI models as well, which is why there is a churn and then it comes up. I wonder. So yes.
So two things I can answer before I'll pass it on to answer furthermore. So categorize is deeper to the whatever articles in thread. For example, Tutu, who is sleeping right now, he's interested about the earthquake, so he just like using the WikiVault about all the earthquakes actually. So that, and the example user I showed in the quote, he is interested about the Western arts, so the Western arts are interested. So it is all depends on the categories the editors are interested in, and also the page views. Because of the number of articles are being increased by the WikiVault, it is impacting that. But like the other AI tools is not relevant to the content because they are saying Wikipedia inputs. It is like the kind of the views per Wiki cost that. Anything to answer from your side?
I'm sorry, I actually couldn't hear the question well. Could you we're talking about the topics of the WikiVault, right?
Probably I will contact you. Like probably I will, because she knows I don't know her email. So yeah, probably you can just contact us closely. That's a better suggestion.
Sure.
All right, so probably I will take one more question from you, and then I will conclude the session. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just need 15 seconds. My name is Sakti, Wikimedia Foundation staff. First of all, I would like to commend these presentations because it's combined the quantitative data and qualitative data. As a fellow researcher, this is a very good, very good example for that. My question is, right now we already have these content translation tools on Wikipedia. I would like to know what is your take on that, because on the other hand, the research has, described this can be a good starting point to create a new content through AI. But on the other hand, we already have pre-existing tool, which is content translation tool. What's your take on that?
I'm not sure because of logistics. So can you repeat the question, please, if possible? Yes.
Yes, sure.
Because logistics problem, sorry, yeah.
No worries. Right now, we already have content translation tool, right? What's your take on that? Because this looks promising. In my opinion, the data has shown that there's impressions from the users. We have more interesting page views. So I would like to know what's your take on that.
I will pass him to answer actually because he knows better.
No worries.
At the first, the original translator in the Wikimedia is very poor because the translation text is not well for the original text or the translated text. So before the accepted the WikiVault, many Korean Wikipedia already used the other DeepL or the ChatGPT to the translated other countries' Wikipedia page. And second is the WikiVault have some macros for the for the text or the other source, the contracted text like the CSS. So so it's so easy to the translated or the accepted the other Wikipedia's pages.
Yep, thank you. So the reason I asking him to answer by the route applause for him for just like sudden answer. Yeah, so reason I asked for him is the only reason is because since I'm working for the Wikimedia Korea, I don't have like the enough time to edit. So probably he's the one of users that added WikiVault a lot, so he might be having a better perspective. So it is better to just like asking the idea from him. Yep. So by the way, before the next questions and raise, we have 10 more minutes to actually question because of the lunch is delayed. Oh no.
No.
So probably raise your hand if you have any questions. Yeah. Richard, go ahead.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachit. I work with the Wikimedia Foundation. Thank you for having us here and this wonderful presentation. I wanted to ask two questions. One is a quick one. If you are using AI at the base of the translation and the creation, do you have a disclaimer on the pages that says something on those lines? And the other one is there were extensive discussions on English Wikipedia on the AI policy. There's a new AI policy. I just wanted to check if there was any interaction between the community here and the English Wikipedia community on exchanging some notes on the policy in general. So yeah.
Just give me a second. I have to do this. I'm gonna screen share on my computer in order to describe something because this computer does not support the Korean. So if I go to the Wikipedia page, and if you see the description, yep, just give me a second. Yep, there are somehow warnings, so that AI must be using the assistant tool, and the result is not that specified, so you have to be able to confirm about the result. So there are the answers probably this, but however, I'm pretty sure there will be other ways to warn the users. I honestly thinking myself, but we are constantly training and having warnings about that as well. So yeah, probably that helps. I think I'm not like the constantly aware about the English Wikipedia discussion right now because of I'm not only responsible for this and watching this. Yeah, I will watching about the English Wikipedia discussions obviously, and then we can able to reply. But like, however, some people we are internally sharing any discussions if there's a made, and like sometimes Robert catch me the one discussion and etc. That happens. So yeah, we are constantly watching it. Thank you. And the next question. Anyone the question? Bochi, go ahead.
Okay, just a layman's question. This is being introduced for the first time in the community by probably in the last few months ago, what is the common pushback that you receive from the global community, and how do you? What is your common response for that?
It depends on the community understanding because each country has a different knowledge of AI. Let's compare to the Korea and Japan because they're the neighbor country and having a different conditions. So for example, the Korea, we are a lot using by ChatGPT and using everything through ChatGPT, like they're asking some questions and being answering, and even the translations and getting the codes. However, Japan side, they're more cautious about using AI. So. And they are not liking using the AI machine learning translations tool. So it is very different by community as well. So, however, I cannot able to answer, but however, you might have to during the conference probably asking how you thinking about to utilize this tool in the Japanese Wikipedia or Chinese Wikipedia or English Wikipedia. If you're asking them, they will have all different answers, honestly. Next question, please. We have 7 more minutes to questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Youngjin. Couple of questions, make them brief, obviously, to give time for other people to ask questions. The first one is, my understanding is your tool only works from English to Korean. I imagine it is deployable if, let's say, you wanted to translate, let's say, something from French or German or Spanish or what have you into Korean, correct?
Is there 사무장이 없나? 사무장 방에 없지. You have to contact Google about the answer in detail about this question, but there is somehow the initiatives are on their way to developing. So probably asking her is the better response for myself because I cannot able to give an answer at this point as a committee member or the researcher.
And then the second question is, my understanding is there is a large corpus of online text, if you will, in Korean that allows AI, AI translated Korean text or even machine translated Korean text generally to be fairly reliable compared to, let's say, if I were to translate something into Tagalog, where text, the corpus is much smaller. And so I'm curious as to if, let's say, we were to deploy something like this in a smaller Wikipedia, are there safeguards with this system that would allow us to more easily check translations or to, if we were to flag translation, should this be paired with flag translation or page revisions or something of that sort?
So it depends on the language actually. So I honestly think for Korean side, I can answer at this point. Yeah, I started using a translation tool starting 2012, where I started studying Canada, and I have to submit a lot of the publishers for my homework as well. So I know the story. So when I started in 2012, it was like the awful to using the translation rather just using dictionary. But however, the recent days, it's constantly improved even without AI. But however, the AI is even the machine learning. So the more translation outputs are getting improved. So it's Korean itself. It is proven that the DeepL or the Google translation has decent qualities. So it makes the AI translation workable. But however, I cannot able to give the other languages because I cannot able to answer because I don't know the other than English and Korean.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We are still welcome to answer in 5 minutes.
Sorry, I have lots of. No, this is not a question. I wanted to go to the presentation and the research that we had, and just wanted to check if there's any recommendations on next steps and how these findings are being taken forward. At maybe your level on Korean Wikipedia, and if there's anything that could be shared with the wider community as well, because a lot of people are talking about AI and these topics. If there's just some plans of that, just some thoughts.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
so I have to overhead to her about that question. So the further step about the research process, sharing about that will be helpful. So yeah, go ahead.
Sure. In terms of research direction, I'm thinking about so in terms of big data analysis, I'm trying to see how the perspectives and of English Wikipedia are being imported to Korean Wikipedia. For example, since people are importing a chunk of each into Korean Wikipedia, people are also just bringing in raw citations from English Wikipedia. So what is resulted from that is that the proportion of reference are more centered around English references rather than the local Korean references. So I'm trying to understand more quantitatively about these questions that I elicited from the interviews, and practically thinking about reporting these research results to the wider community. This research is being planned to be submitted to a international conference in human-computer interaction. So once it is released, everyone will be able to assess to the results and the research manuscript. And hopefully, I'm trying to come out with some very practical, actionable insights that can help inform the policy and the design of WikiVault. I hope it answered the question.
All right, he said thank you. So I'm just before the next question, probably the last, from Masaki-san. Probably, I'm just running the translation, by the way. So as you can see, somehow you have to fix from there, the custom medicine needs to be made, yeah, etc. Yeah, I know I select the wrong long article, so I cannot able to show the more. Let's see. while we answer the question. So Masaki-san, what's your question?
Hello. It is not question and just opinion and using machine translation from Japanese to English. In Japanese Wikipedia, the discussion in Japanese Wikipedia, the discussion focus almost entirely on the risks associated with using AI and LLM, and with the little discussion at all about actually using AI. And I felt a sense of crisis rather than concern, and that if this continued, Japanese Wikimedia would be left behind by global trends.
All right, thank you for the sharing. So yeah, so I think, yeah, Japanese, thank you for sharing the what's the side of Japanese Wikipedia, because I'm not clear in understanding as what you guys thinking, yeah. So yeah, if I pour as a pool, by the way, people might be able to get one more questions probably, but however, yeah, I'm just gonna show you. When you publish, you can add the draft or regular articles or the like sub page of your user page, and then you can further edit, and you can just like assign the title, and then you can able to publish it. Yeah, I'm not gonna publishing this because this article looks not that good enough to just like a clicking and publishing, but yeah, that's how the way works. If you are wondering. So next question, if you have, I can accommodate one more question. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like how to migrating into AI on English Wikipedia, on Korean Wikipedia, on a lot of different Wikimedia projects are happening, even outside of Wikimedia movement, like Stanford University. They're also writing some kind of like Wikipedia article, encyclopedia article by their own AI. I wonder if there's any like AI-centered Wikimedia conference will be there in the future.
I don't think so, but
why?
Because I don't know. I have no rights to just like doing something like the hosting. But however, in the ESEAP conference 2028, which is scheduled to happen in South Korea, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Okay.
That might be probably the good place we can share more about, because we are hosting South Korea and we actually decide the agenda more than compared to this conference, because we are might be the lead for the program probably in the next conference. Yeah, probably. So ESEAP side, there will be somehow opportunity. All right, so thank you. I think there are many questions to make. If possible, I might be just reserve the last minute slot for the somehow the AI discussions probably session in the meetups probably, so that we can just discuss this more further probably with myself and the other fellow Wikimedians, so that we can just cover it up, because we are almost out of time and probably lunch should be ready. I think. Yeah. So thank you all, and we'll pass to Robert to make announcements.